Are you considering purchasing a new home in 2024 and you are really looking into new construction homes? Well, here's a couple of tips that I have for you. So first off, when you go new construction, recently, there's really good incentives on the inventory homes that are available right now. And that's because the new construction home builders, they want them off of their books. They don't want to have to pay taxes on those properties. So they're giving great incentives to sell those properties. But if you were to go with the to-be-built homes, which I've actually seen an uptick of recently, I've spoken with lots of sales consultants with the different builders, and they said over the last 2 weeks, they've actually had about half and half buying inventory versus to-be-builts. So there's a couple of tips that I have when you do a to-be-built. One is when you purchase a to-be-built and then you go to the design center, each builder has their own set of rules when it comes to what their threshold is of paying for those upgrades. And what that means is a builder will put a certain set of rules on that saying, let's say you go into the design center and you spend $40,000 in upgrades. Well, the builder will set a threshold being like 50% of your upgrades or a dollar amount of like $20,000. And that amount, they allow you to roll it into your mortgage. The other part of it, you have to actually come up front with cash the day of going to the design center and pay the difference so that it's not rolled into your loan and it has nothing to do with your mortgage. So that's something to think about because that's it can be a really big dollar amount that you have to come up with before you ever make it to closing. You're coming up with a pretty big dollar amount. And if you don't have that cash readily available, it's definitely something to think about. Now, let's say you do go to the design center and you're on a limited budget. I would say to definitely consider things that are hard to change later. Those are the things that I would spend the money on. The things that are easy to change, paint, or maybe you can't afford the exact flooring that you want, and so you go ahead and you put in the basic carpet, knowing that when that carpet wears down, then you should have enough money to put in the flooring that you want. Things like that, that's okay to skimp on, per se, because they still have really good base colors and quality. But the things that I would not skimp on are cabinets. Cabinets are very expensive to replace when you go to replace, let's say, your whole kitchen. That can be a huge remodel and a very big price dollar amount that goes along with that. So I would really consider doing the cabinets that you want long term. I would also consider anything that's tile. Make sure that you pick the things that you absolutely love. And the reason I say that is because it's very hard. And there's lots of labor involved in removing tile to put what you actually want. So I would pick the exact backsplash or tile flooring, if you do tile, of exactly what you want so that later you're not having to go in and replace that, because that can be pretty costly.